new video. So this video will be a bit different. So I'm uploading the AMAs that recently happened for Thor nodes and some of the updates and the crucial updates that they have going on. So make sure to watch the full video and gain some concepts in what's going on with Thor nodes. And I'll do a follow-up video explaining everything about the concepts and all the new features that they have. So if you like the video, please just give it a thumbs up, like and subscribe, and stay tuned for the next one.
Manager, and I work intently in the background here to make sure that things are running smoothly, as well as coming out with our newest developments and newest partnerships. So yeah, it's been a hell of a journey, and the journey's just getting started. We have so much more to do here. I'm really excited about the future.
Excellent. Bagsy asks, Thor has a coin capped supply of 1 million. Will this be increased for sustainability due to demand? For example, if people hold their coins in their wallets, will the supply dry up for node rewards?
No, because that's the beautiful thing about the market is it adjusts to supply and demand. There's no way to add more tokens, and I don't think having an inflationary mechanism makes sense for a protocol like ours. It makes far more sense from my perspective to allow the market conditions to happen, to control the max amount of emissions that our protocol emits on a daily basis, and then allow the supply and demand to justify everybody's individual actions on what they do with their rewards.
Excellent. Connor asks, can we focus on investing the rest of the treasury as soon as possible?
Yes.
With the current state of crypto, we could invest in some blue chips, and putting the money to work is what's most important. I can see that we have approximately 40 million in AVAX available, but have invested around 900,000. I understand things have been very hectic and crazy lately, but if we could push hard to invest the rest of the treasury within a couple of weeks, that would be awesome.
So we've invested significantly more than 900,000. You can go through the investment channel yourself and actually see the volumes. In fact, in one investment, we invested over $1 million as is. So, while there's certainly some more room here on the treasury to be invested, we are looking to invest it at an exponential rate. So we're looking to increase both the investment numbers as well as the frequency of our investment votes. We are planning on having the next vote out done very soon, and we're also planning on having the gala purchase done within the next day or two.
Excellent. Dilbob asks, for the OG NFTs, could I suggest that they have a bonus feature of generating an extra revenue for the holder? This being, for example, paying out 1% of all NFT sales spread across OG holders. This would make their value on the market quite high and again, bring in income from their sale.
So yeah, we have many ideas on what we're going to be doing with the OG NFTs, and we will be going into more detail on that when we're ready to start unveiling them.
Excellent. Kaz asks, can we get some clarity on if the V1 contract is still selling when a node is created? I understand this was the case in the original contract, but I recall Handel fixing it. Does this selling issue still exist when nodes are being compounded also? If that is the case, where do these sold tokens go? And do we know if V2 will fix the sell pressure that's being caused when compounding?
So yes, the V2 is going to give us far more flexibility on what we control with the different aspects of the model where it comes to node creation or claiming or compounding. As of now, node creation is an automatic sale. That's how the treasury generates value. That's the reason the treasury's been able to continue to grow. However, claiming no longer creates any immediate sale pressure. That was the fix that we put out in the beginning of January. And now with the new V2 contracts coming out in literally days from now, we're going to have far more flexibility, and that's also the reason why you've seen the treasury amount of Thor grow exponentially. We have hundreds of thousands, well, not hundreds of thousands, but we have close to 100,000 tokens in the Thor treasury in Thor tokens, and that's all from claiming, and those were automatic sales that we've avoided.
Oh, wonderful. Pickpocket asks, what would be the utility of God mode after the NFT market drops, aside from the metaverse feature?
We have several utilities that are being planned out, as well as many more in the future. We'll go into more detail on that when we get closer.
Excellent. Johnny Luck asks, at the moment when compounding, if you have more tokens than what is necessary for the node, the extra amount is taxed and then deposited into your MetaMask. Will the new UI employ a feature that alerts you as to when you are ready to compound, so no additional tokens can be used up?
That's something that we're looking into. That's something that we haven't guaranteed. Everything that's guaranteed in the updates are listed in the announcements.
Excellent. And Seamus asks, what are the immediate short-term plans to help stabilize the price?
Well, the immediate short-term plans here are to continue to build in the utility to our ecosystem and expand the ecosystem out exponentially. This is the current price action that we're seeing. You can see in literally every single chart, not just nodes, but that's the entire market. We're dealing with some severe global political issues that are happening in the world right now, and so our priority here is to be able to control our own future by introducing more and more utility to our ecosystem and to increase the scope of our ecosystem exponentially over time.
Awesome. A reluctant hyena asks, with the recent price action, are we likely to see the problem of many Odins being created, which will cause a potential spike in sell pressure?
No, because that's once again falls down to supply and demand. As people continue to buy out Odins, their price is going to continuously go up. This is an issue that faced every single node protocol in existence. We've seen Strong be able to survive when they were listed out, making nodes at $17 and at $12, all the way up to $1,200, and now they're back down. This is the natural course of this industry, and so that's the reason it's very important for us to introduce a max emission cap and focus on our utility rather than focus on short-term price action.
Excellent. Shlomo asks, would it be possible to create a weekly comparison of revenue versus payout?
Yeah, that's what we're planning on doing is having more information inside of the new UI. It's listed there in the announcements.
Awesome. Tiger asks, do we have an approximate timeline on when RPC endpoints will be fully functional once again?
We're looking to do that out with the new contracts, as well as introduce Phantom endpoints into all nodes as well. So our endpoints will be both simultaneously AVAX and Phantom. That's what we're looking to do, is we're looking to continuously increase the utility behind our endpoints.
Awesome, and this is an interesting one. Mike Blockland asks, what is the plan for the P2E game to generate revenue for the project?
So we're not going to go into complete detail on that. We've learned from previous mistakes of announcing aspects of what we're planning on doing here ahead of time, and then dealing with people who don't have necessarily the ability to be as patient as they need to be to allow these things to be developed properly. So we're not going into much detail about that, but we have several revenue streams planned.
Awesome. Simix asks, what is the status on a Thor Financial YouTube channel? I believe educating the community is essential for the future. Is this something that we've considered making?
We've certainly considered that. Right now we're focused on not only getting through the final reward cuts here, which is just happened to Freya last night and will be happening to Heimdall in a relatively soon amount of time. We're also focused on getting the V2 contracts out, as well as the new UI, and start to really hit up the metaverse and get several elements of the metaverse play to earn games done, and all of these take significant amount of time. I think once we're past the point of the V2 contracts and we're simply focusing on the utility of the metaverse and as well as expanding the utility of our ecosystem, that's when we're going to really start to hire in more talent to help us produce educational videos. We've already started that with the David Doughton doing his TA. He does 5 videos a week on Thor TA, and we're planning on introducing more that's going to help make sure that all of the Asgardians are educated on how DeFi works.
Wonderful. AJ's Wargaming asks, we were previously told V2 should be out in 2 weeks. On Monday night on Twitch, Loki stated it would be 2 to 3 weeks. Which number is more accurate? Should we expect to see V2 in the next week?
We will be going into more detail about V2. We've put out the most recent ETAs. That's in the announcements. The problem is giving a definite timeline creates a really difficult situation, not just for the devs, but for the community. What we want to do is we want to make sure that when this is rolled out, it's rolled out working, there's no issues, and it's been peer tested and penetration tested. In order to do that, that takes time, and so what we can do is we can give you approximate ETAs. I'm not going to be able to give you a specific date.
Excellent. Bain asks, how does Thor Financial plan to compete with well-established NFT platforms like NFT Trade?
By utilizing our massive base, and then also making sure that our NFT platform is much more of a quality over quantity approach. I'm not a big fan of platforms that just allow anybody to list on there. That's the reason we see a lot of scams and bottom basement tier NFTs being listed. And I want to make sure that our community has access to a high pedigree of NFTs. So that's the reason all of the NFT projects that are going to be listed on our marketplace are going to be completely fully vetted for either utility or a very high intrinsic art value.
Awesome. Draker asks, is it possible to have the price of Thor pegged, for example, to $100? So what he means by this is that when price drops, the price of the node would proportionally increase.
Something that we're looking into. It's not something we're ready to go into more detail about yet.
Excellent. Papaya asks, is there an estimated time for the arrival of the full white paper?
That's going to be coming out with the new updates that's coming out in V2 as well.
Excellent. And lastly, Neon Phantom asks, regarding the metaverse and P2E features, a lot of this we will have to announce at a later time. Do we know if it will be mobile friendly?
I don't have clarification on that yet. This is something that we're really focused on the desktop side of things. We are interested in cross-platform and cross devices. That's something that's going to be more than likely interjected at a later time, though.
Excellent. And he had a follow-up. He said that with the P2E game and the Metaverse Hangout, is it possible to utilize a login so that if you have the verified God mode role on Discord, you gain access to these God mode only features? So I guess he wants to know how exactly are we going to make it exclusive to God mode?
Well, God modes are going to actually have their own NFT that holds no value and no transferable, but essentially acts as your ticket and verifiable proof that you're in God mode.
Excellent. So that's the written questions completed. I'm going to get Excalibur to bring up the live questions just to make sure that those are ready.
Sweet.
So let's switch over to that now.
All right. So now we're on to the live questions here. Excalibur, while we've been going through the text questions, has been just fielding them out to make sure that we don't have a bunch of repeated questions over and over again. And I'm ready to go here. So Excalibur, do you want to come up on stage here and start inviting the people up?
Yeah, we vetted a couple people and they're not on the list anymore, and we're still working on it. It's not going so well.
Hey, you know what? This is our first time attempting at doing this. So how about this? In the meantime, I'm going to invite just some random people up that have their hands up right now. Just continue to vet people and make sure the people that you're vetting keep their hands up, and then just let me know their usernames after you vetted them. All right. So Island Boy and Harish, you're first. Come on up, guys. Gotta accept the invites, guys. Come on up. There we go. All right, Fourier. Do you want to go ahead, my friend?
Hey, Loki. Appreciate all the hard work you put in on this project. For those of us who like to tinker in spreadsheets and so forth, are there any plans with the V2 to allow like public APIs to pull my current balance and so forth?
That's something that we're looking into. We can't certainly make any promises.
Sure.
This is something that we're not looking to necessarily make super public. We don't want to, give people an easy way just to fork us and then scam our community using the credibility that we built up. So this is something that we're looking into. I can't make any promises about that, but that's something we're definitely interested in doing.
Cool. Thanks, brother. Have a good one.
No problem, bro. All right, Saint, Orin, and Blanket, come on up, guys. Guys, got to accept the invite. I've sent you all up. There we go. All right, Cleos, go ahead. All right, I've just invited a bunch of you up, so come on up and make sure that your mic is working. Cleos, your mic's not working. I'm going to give you a couple minutes here to figure it out. Otherwise, I'm going to have to send you back down to the audience. Go ahead, Xero. Blanket.
Yeah, guys, we got voice channels, too, that you can practice this on, so you guys are ready for your big moment.
Yeah. All right, Blanket, go ahead.
Hey, can y'all hear me?
I can hear you.
All right, perfect. Sorry. I was just wondering, so I know that y'all have faced a lot of growth, rapid growth compared to projects like Strong. Mm-hmm. What are some things that have come up that have been problematic, and how have you fixed them, or what do you plan to do to fix them if there are any problems?
Well, currently we're actually in a very good situation, especially given the current market conditions with geopolitical issues that are going on. We're in a pretty darn good position. The one of the biggest things, then one of the biggest hurdles that we faced was essentially as we got very popular very, very fast, we faced a huge increase of our emissions. In fact, just before we announced the most recent cuts here in the rewards, we had our global node count double in a week. So it took us about 6 weeks to hit the number, and then that was doubled in a single week after that. And that's really where we found a lot of problems. So that's the reason we decided to take some serious proactive measures. Supply the reward reductions, and that has also limited down the amount of growth that we've had to a much more manageable rate, and it's also controlled our emissions. So right now we're in a fantastic position, and we're really just focusing on expanding the utility of our ecosystem.
Good. Great to hear, and appreciate all the hard work.
Oh, I thank you, man. Much appreciated. All right, does that answer your question? All right, he's back down to the audience. Coy Flynn, go ahead.
What's happening, guys? It's Chris, by the way, but sorry, my username's a bit hard to pronounce.
It's all good.
Just a quick one for you. You recently saw, I presume, about the OpenSea NFT kind of scamming that was going on last week.
I sure did.
Yeah, I think everybody did. But I was just wondering, is there any plans maybe to look into authenticating and protecting our nodes once they become NFTs? Because I know there's a company and they have a patent that's just gone through in China, America, Europe, parts of Africa, and one of their proof-of-view technologies is to actually authenticate and protect NFTs, so that can't happen.
So let's go into detail about the what happened with OpenSea, because it wasn't actually an OpenSea exploit. It was a phishing attempt, and I think it affected a grand total of 11 users. But this was a phishing attempt and essentially a social engineering scamming attempt that happened and was relatively successful. What they did is they took advantage of the migration event that OpenSea had, and how they took advantage of that was essentially spoofing emails and sending emails telling people to migrate over that looked like from the official OpenSea account, but of course was done by a malicious actor, which is really, really unfortunate. We actually are in talks with a few different NFT validating organizations, but the cool thing and the reason our marketplace is going to be unique is we have far more control over what's happening on the marketplace and what's being listed on the marketplace. Our marketplace is not just open season where anyone can post whatever they want. Our marketplace is going to be very much hand-chosen, high-quality NFT projects. We want to make sure that people who are spending the rewards on NFTs on the marketplace are going to be getting high quality things rather than a bunch of crap or a bunch of screenshots or a bunch of fake stuff that's being done by some malicious actors. So we're taking several safeguards and precaution, and we'll be going into more detail once we get closer to the NFT launch, marketplace launch.
Okay, cool. Thanks, man.
Awesome. Thanks, brother.
Cheers.
Jeez. All right, Crazy Jay, go ahead.
Hey, Loki, just had a quick question in regards to the ROT. Are ROTs still applicable for nodes that haven't transitioned yet?
No. So as we've made it pretty darn clear here about the ROT periods, is that after the reward reduction hit in place, it's all now a flat tax system. So you can see the exact tax amounts in the announcements, and that's been cleared out as soon as we announced the reward reduction.
So even for nodes that haven't transitioned over, the rate has been changed. Tax rate has been changed.
Well, no, you have ROT until the transition happens. So Freya transitioned last night. We have a few days here till Heimdall transitions, and then that closes out the entire system.
So that's exactly my question. So before Freya transitioned, I had actually redeemed my rewards, and they had met ROT, but it was still taxed at 20% instead of the 1%.
Brother, please open up a support ticket and tag me in the support ticket.
No, I'm not bringing this to you for you to do anything about it. I just wanted clarification. That's all. Thank you.
Well, no, the system is in place, right? And so that's to my that's how it should work. And if it did not work and you faced a glitch for whatever reason, please, I want to make sure that you're made whole here. Don't swallow any loss.
Yeah, definitely.
Please just make a support ticket. That's exactly what we have the entire support system for.
Yeah, definitely. Just wanted to confirm and make sure that what I was understanding was correct. But yeah, thank you.
Cool. Thanks, Ben.
All
right, Arvin, go ahead.
Hey, Loki, how are you doing?
I'm all right, brother. How are you?
Good, great job, great job. Everything is good. Yeah. The first question I have here is, when do you think the first utility of the token will be here? Because the only utility for now is to sell it or convert it to AVAX.
No, we have several other utilities. We have the LP staking, we have the single side staking, and we have a much more that are coming out. Once again, we're about a 2-month-old protocol, and we have more developments than really any other protocol that exists on the market right now, and we've been moving at a faster speed.
Yeah. Then is there any plan to reward some other token that Thor maybe, I don't know, maybe non-native tokens if you have our own?
No, we do not have plans to do that. What we need to do is we're focusing on increasing the utility of the rewards token to allow the utility of that to increase the buying pressure naturally. It makes far less sense, and it removes utility from our token by offering rewards in the secondary token.
I see. Thank you very much. Bye.
All right, thank you. Crypto Poppy, go ahead. Gotta come off mute there, Crypto Poppy.
Yo, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
All right, what's up, Loki?
Yeah.
Quick question. So, first of all, I appreciate your everything you do. You're a very charismatic dude. It's hard for anybody not to like you. And I noticed some of the stuff that you've been dealing with. I mean, it's tough, you know what I'm saying? And it sucks that we have people out there who attack people for no apparent reason. So kudos to you for holding your ground, and you know what I'm saying, we got your back.
I very much appreciate that. Look, this happens in any industry. Whenever you're trying to make some dramatic changes to an industry, you're going to have people, especially people from the old way that things are being done, have serious problems because they see me as a direct threat. And, to be completely honest, to any malicious actors out there, I am a direct threat to you. That's exactly what I'm trying to build, and that's exactly the industry that I'm trying to change. That's happening through multiple different protocols, as well as the Union of Transparency. And those people who are either malicious or don't understand that are going to have an opportunity to come to the right side of history here, or be left in the dust. It's going to be completely up to them.
Absolutely. Now, I have 2 questions for you. And, I mean, you might not answer both of them because of the questions, but I'm going to go for it. I'm somebody that likes to look at the 6 degrees of separation. Mm-hmm. And what is the connection or significance with Brock Pierce and Thor?
With Brock Pierce? I don't know. I wouldn't be able to tell you. If Brock Pierce is within the Asgardians, though, we'd be more than happy to talk with him.
Well, I mean, he's following the project, so, that stood out to me. I mean, he doesn't follow just anybody or any project. So
that's because we're doing some really unique stuff here, and I'm happy to see more and more people from the mainstream come into the Thor ecosystem and discover really how we're changing out the DeFi game here.
Big facts. Now, my second question. So I noticed that you had some early involvement with power nodes.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I'm trying to figure out who this cut guy is.
Mm-hmm.
Is that you?
No. No, I'm Power Man on the Power Node server. But at the end of the day, Power is one of the Union of Transparency members. That's really at my complete direct involvement of it. I'm quite possibly I'm one person, and I don't have the physical ability to be super active and participatory in many different protocols. But Cut has gone through full KYC measures as well as contract audits. They're coming out with some very unique stuff, and the only integration between Power and Thor is the fact that they're both union members, just like Hive.
Nice. Well, I'm a member of both communities, so I support the union trust and everything that you stand for. So just know we got your back, man. And I appreciate everything you do on every Thursday.
Hey man, we try our best. I'm doing this here, whether it's a live AMA or we're talking about with multiple different partners or different things that we're looking to build to the ecosystem for both Union of Transparency and Thor, and then of course Hive is going to be releasing soon. We got some very, very cool things coming in the horizon, especially on the Thor front. I'm extremely bullish about the future. I think we have some real cool game changers happening.
Well, I mean, you guys are attracting a lot of heavyweights within the blockchain industry who are actually following you guys now. So I'm watching and I see the growth, and I appreciate all of the honesty and transparency you guys do provide. So enjoy your day.
That.
Peace.
Thank you, man. You have a great day, Crypto Poppy.
Thanks, man.
All right, buddy.
I like that guy.
All right, Paul Love. Go ahead, Paul Love.
Hello.
Hey.
Hey, hi, Loki. Congratulations to you and all the team for your effort, especially Yusuf that helped me a lot with setting up my hard wallet. He dedicated a lot of time with me, so congratulations. I have a question for you regarding, today I read that you're going to be the CMO in Hive, so I want to know how are you going to divide your time in both projects?
The same way that I've been doing it as we've been building Hive for the last 3 months. I've been a founder on Hive for months now, and I think everyone can see that my involvement in this project has not been hurt at all. The whole point here is to start to build up a fantastic team, and that's what we've been building. You can see Ryan here, you can see Aaron here, you can see Excalibur here, you can see Yusuf here, and we're continuously building out this team to ensure that all projects, have a fantastic team behind them and a lot of community involvement. But it also allows me to take much more of a backseat overseer kind of view, and that's exactly where I see my long-term purpose going. Don't also forget, I'm the founder of the Union of Transparency, where I have a completely other team dedicated and working to build out the entire self-regulatory agency that we're looking to build within DeFi.
Cool. Thank you. Nice job, guys. Bye.
Thank you very much, my friend. Have a great day.
You too. Bye.
All right, ciao. Arvin, go ahead, Arvin. Gotta come off mute there, Arvin. All right, I'm gonna move on here to Drew Drusifer Green. Go ahead. I probably butchered your username there. My apologies, my friend.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
One of the questions that I had was just when the project does turn over to the nodes becoming NFTs, would there still be a chance for the passive income type aspect of the nodes itself?
Yes. So our model is never changing. The only thing that's changing is the structure of how these nodes operate. So instead of it being a sunk cost where you can't move them around and you can't resell them, you're going to have much more freedom. We're all about offering more freedom to our ecosystem, not limiting freedom.
Okay, cool, excellent. Hey, y'all have a good one.
Thank you very much, brother. All right, Jacobs, go ahead.
Hey, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Hey, man, it's good to talk to you, and thank you for all you're doing. I wanted to give you a hard time and say I was going to ask you about, the NFT caps, but I really can't do that.
Well, I mean, I at this point, I think I've answered the NFT node cap and the when cap and all of those questions so much, I'm not going to answer those anymore, just for my own personal sanity.
Right, exactly. Hey, this is the question I've been wondering. Given what's gone on with the SEC and XRP and other issues around the SEC and Coinbase and et cetera, what are you guys doing in the background to mitigate any of those type of issues? And have you been even remotely concerned about that?
I've been talked about the SEC issues for forever now. That's the whole one of the major structures and reason why we're creating the union. Why I'm creating the Union of Transparency, which is essentially our independent self-regulatory board within the world of DeFi. And our entire goal here is to position ourselves in an authoritative stance to the SEC and different regulators to help those regulators form regulations in an industry that they fundamentally don't understand. The last thing we want is a a bunch of boomers who don't understand our industry being the ones that regulate us, because we know what's going to happen, how it's going to negatively affect our industry without having some serious involvement from people within the industry, and that's exactly what we're looking to do. The good thing about Thor and DeFi as a whole, though, in separation from a XRP or Coinbase, is we don't have a centralized organization. We're decentralized by nature. All of our team members exist in different jurisdictions across the world, so it makes attempts at regulation far more difficult and complex for any form of regulators to actually achieve anything tangible. And we're hoping to be in a serious position by the time that regulators are seriously looking to regulate our industry with the UOT to help form those regulations to be much more fair and make sure that DeFi has a very long-term future.
I understand that, and I just find it interesting that not to throw out names, but I have to. Gensler's made it pretty obvious that he's going after anybody and everybody, and it just kind of scares me that he's being left to his own devices. And I'll leave it with this: I wish this were the late '90s and we're all in the .com era, because that was just kind of the Wild West for, what was that, almost 10 years, and we've only been around. This part of the industry's really only been around for a few years now in respect to the .com. And I think when they put the regulations out at that point in time, they did a pretty good job. They didn't great, but they did a good job. Yeah. And now it just seems like they're falling flat on their face. So, again, man, thank you very much for all your time. I really appreciate everything you've been doing, and I wish you luck in the future.
I very much appreciate that, and that is something that we all are concerned and aware about. The cool thing is a big aspect of the Wild West industry of the .com boom in the 90s. You had a giant crash, and that happened through a multitude of different factors, everything from oversaturation to underutilization of different utilities within that ecosystem. And so I think it's actually far smarter for us to start looking at an independent self-regulatory stance, to start regulating ourselves and operate in an ethical manner. And when we can do that, then I think we're going to see Gensler and we're going to see other entities, the SEC and other regulatory entities and all of the first world nations, have a very clear path to regulation, and that clear path will be through the UOT and working in conjunction with the UOT. And I think we all know that the UOT is going to fight for the future and the rights of DeFi as a whole.
Absolutely. Thanks again, brother. I appreciate it.
I very much appreciate that. Great question, brother. Have a great day.
You too.
All right. Crypto Teen. I'm not sure if I've already answered your question, but go ahead.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
So, I have all the nodes, all the besides Odin on one wallet, and then I got a new wallet because I got a ledger and I want to keep protected. I have only Odin on there.
Mm-hmm.
So, am I gonna have to wait till they turn NFTs to be able to put all of them into one wallet
unfortunately, nodes
become God mode.
Unfortunately, nodes are tied to your individual wallet, and each individual wallet in a Web3 stance is being seen as an individual entity, right? So there's no difference between your secondary wallet and a guy 400 miles away who also has an Odin node from the perspective of the protocol. So that's something that you're going to have to either save up or collect your rewards and be able to purchase the other nodes all on one wallet, or you can wait until they're transferable assets and then move all the assets to your protected wallet.
Okay, once they're transferable, I'll be able to put them to that same wallet.
Oh, yeah.
And claim God mode.
Once they're transferable, you can sell them on the marketplace, or you can just send them over to your other wallet, or however you want to do it.
Perfect. It's either buying one or waiting. Awesome. Thank you for that.
No worries,
Have a
brother.
great one.
You too. Have a great day. All right, Zero Dex, go ahead. Got to come off mute there, Zero Dex.
Hey Loki, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Good to speak with you, man. I just had a couple quick questions here. So with the current investments, I know the project's really focused on sustainability. With the current investments, I know with Odin nodes, and it gets like a little bit less with each one on like the investment you're getting back.
Mm-hmm.
I think with Odin, it's around or close to around 300% like per year.
Mm-hmm.
With the current investments, would you say that rate seems sustainable at the moment?
No, and that's the reason why we're not just prioritizing investments as the way to return revenue back to our protocol as well as to our investors. That's the reason why we're introducing multiple different revenue streams. Everything from maintenance fees over to marketplaces, over to P2E, as well as some other utilities that we have not announced yet. The whole goal here is to have a diversified revenue streams, and Treasury investments form only one of those revenue streams.
Gotcha. And then my second quick question here is if you have an update on the OG NFT.
So this is something that was covered at the very beginning of the AMA, so I'm going to just say it very quickly. When we get closer to the marketplace and NFTs being introduced, we will be going into more detail about that.
Okay, perfect. Thank you, man. I appreciate it.
You're welcome, brother. Thank you. All right, after Blue, go ahead.
Hi, can you hear me?
I can hear you. I can hear you.
Oh, fantastic. Thank you very much. Firstly, I'd like to just echo the comments made by Crypto Happy, because, I think you did a fantastic job.
Oh, well, thank you.
My question is, given my current situation at the moment, maybe...
Brother, can you turn off, can you mute the Twitch stream? Because you're echoing like crazy.
Wow, how much is that? Twitch stream? Maybe I'll come back later on.
Alright, I'm gonna mute you here until you can figure that out, okay? Alright, and Arvin... Oh, it's you! Excalibur, go on mute. I'm sorry about that, After Blue. Oh, it's you! Excalibur, go on mute. I'm sorry about that, After Blue. Oh, it's you! Excalibur, go on mute. I'm sorry about that, After Blue.
Oh, that's so great.
Yeah, sorry, that was a weird echo.
While Loki gets this situated.
Sorry about that, everybody. I just pulled a giant noob move, and I accidentally had the Twitch stream open on my own chat. So sorry about that, guys. That was completely on me. I'm such a noob to streaming. My mistake, everybody. All right, Arvin, go ahead, Arvin. Sorry about that. Arvin, you got to come off mute.
I think he asked this question earlier about the secondary token, so I think he may have just gone AFK, so we can probably ask somebody else for now.
Cool. I'm going to send back to the end of the audience then. I'm going to move on to Tales of the Crypto. Go ahead.
Hey, can you hear me okay?
I can hear you.
Superb. So just a couple of quick questions, because I'm a newbie. So with these new contracts going out, just to confirm regarding Odin, Thor, Freya, and Heimdall, so after the 24th of February, will everything be at a 10% tax, just out of curiosity?
No, the tax system scales, right? So it goes from 1 to 10% depending on the tier of node. You can see the exact taxes and the flat taxes that will be applied over in the announcements channel. They're all listed there.
Okay, perfect. So I can look that up. And when it comes down to, I jumped in straight into Odin, then went backwards, Thor, Freya, Heimdall. So I'd jump in deep first and all the rest of it. So what's your advice if I wanted to recommend this to other people? And, it's always a bit scary when you say actually jump into a node. What's your words of advice that I could share with somebody else?
Well, I mean, I would take a look at our history as well as what's coming up in the future. So anybody who's interested in our ecosystem and what we're trying to build here, especially for the future of DeFi as a whole, I would highly recommend them to take a look at, previous AMAs, through our announcements, through our investments channel, through our buybacks channel, to really have a full scale of exactly what we're trying to build here and where we see our true path to sustainability. Because we're doing things unlike every other node project out there. We're not focused on another chain that has its own risks of adoption and transactional volumes and stuff like that. We're really focused on building out an entire ecosystem with multiple different revenue streams, and I think that puts us in a unique position.
Cool. And just one final quick question. I won't keep your time any longer. So with the market being down, of course, people, I'm assuming other people would also want to sell or claim their rewards at a higher rate and then pay the tax on it, but you still get a higher return. But So someone like myself right now, I'll be accumulating until the price goes up. But is there a negative impact if everyone's maybe not selling anything right now or claiming rewards and just compounding and then doing it in a month or two from now?
No, because there's a positive price impact, right? That's the beautiful thing about the concept of supply and demand. As the supply decreases and the demand stays the same, that price of the supply goes up. And that's the beautiful thing about a market is it naturally finds that equilibrium. So, there's going to be people who are deciding to save up and they're going to sell it whenever they have a price action that they want, and that's going to provide downward price action, and then more people are going to hold, and that's going to provide upward price action. That's the beautiful thing about the entire concept of supply and demand.
Super. Appreciate it. Thank you for your time. And I'll let you carry on. Thank you.
Thank you, brother. Thank you. And I just here, before I go on to the next question, I just saw in the Twitch chat a very funny comment that made me laugh. Yeah, I guess I am a boomer when it comes down to Twitch streaming, everybody. I'm very sorry because that was totally on me. I'm blaming everyone else until I realized that I have my own Twitch stream open. So sorry about that, everybody, but that made me laugh. So, a very good comment. I am trying to keep an eye on the comments here on Twitch as well. Sorry about that, Cleos. Go ahead.
Am I coming in through clear now?
You're coming in loud and clear, my friend.
Perfect, thank you. First of all, love everything you guys are doing. My question is coming from the top voted ideas from P2E.
Okay.
It's regarding a Thor subnet where our ecosystem could actually do all transactions in the Thor token, including the NFT marketplace. I was asking if that is actually planned or it's already being rolled out with the marketplace, or is that a realistic ask?
That's the whole function of what our ecosystem is looking to build. Thor will become, the reward token that you receive that is Thor V2 is going to become the transactional token, the utility token, the governance token. It's going to become the facilitator of everything within our ecosystem, everything from play to earn games to purchasing NFTs on our native marketplace.
Perfect. And one follow-on question, if you don't mind. Is there?
Oh, you broke up there. I just heard, is there?
Roger. Is there any possible swapping of Thor with other tokens in the future Thor subnet, Thor ecosystem, as far as other than AVAX to Thor?
So, I mean, the current way that you can swap with almost anything that you'd like on Trader Joe because they have routers. So you can swap stable coins, you can swap other cryptos over to Thor because the Trader Joe router automatically converts it over to AVAX and then converts that AVAX over to Thor. We are looking at additional benefits to our ecosystem, and certainly things like a swap services or even a full DEX are things that we're looking at.
Understood. Yeah, perfect. That was pretty much the question. If we would do our own, if Thor would do their own Trader Joe's.
Yeah, well, I mean, look, I'm obviously not going into detail about things that have not been released, but as I've said before, and consider this a little bit of a hint in alpha, we're seriously looking at as many different things that we can add to our ecosystem, and we're in talks with some seriously great people.
Thank you. That's all I had.
Awesome.
Appreciate everything you guys are doing.
Thank you very much, my friend. All right, Imani, go ahead.
Hello, you hear me?
I can hear you.
Have you guys ever explored or thought about onboarding a farming team to help with to build the treasury and help with doing buybacks?
We have both DeFi experts as well as farming experts on our team that helps us evaluate different treasury investments.
Okay, are they constantly farming every day?
We work with other farming teams as well. We're exploring additional partnerships in the future.
Okay, so is that kind of becoming a farming as a service?
No.
Protocol as well? Or?
Nope. What we are is we're a revenue generating protocol to sustain the rewards, and we're the DeFi as a service and nodes as a service protocol. We want to incorporate as many different positive aspects of other models into our model. We're not looking to become in a completely different model.
Okay.
Cool.
Right on.
All right.
But thank you.
Thanks, brother.
Bye.
All right. Liquid, go ahead. Can't hear you, Liquid. All right, Liquid, I'm going to move on to Jamish. Go ahead.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you, Jamish. Go ahead.
Yeah. How are you doing?
I'm all right, brother. How are you?
Yeah, good, thank you. I just got one question. Sorry for my accent. when the nodes will turn to NFTs. I just want to know if when the node will turn to NFTs, we will don't have a minimum of nodes, a maximum of nodes. So if someone buy like 1,000 of them, will it have a negative impact if we decide to sell without the OTC service?
So no, once again, we introduce a node cap with our NFTs and our marketplace.
Okay, thank you.
All right, thank you.
Okay,
all right. Please, guys, I've answered the node cap and marketplace question about 1 billion times. I for my own sanity, I'd like to keep a little bit sane during these. Please don't ask that question. It's been answered and asked and answered more times than literally any other question we've ever had. All right, Leo, go ahead.
Hey, good afternoon. Thank you for giving me a chance to speak. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Sure. My question is, again, regarding, one of the previous questions that came up regarding the SEC and stuff, but my question is very specific. I understand the team is KYC, and you guys have audited the contract. All that is good and giving confidence. But what I wanted to ask is your product, which is obviously dealing with payments and crypto and paying people and managing the money. So are you registered in some country right now?
No, this is DeFi.
The regulation comes in?
No, this is DeFi. The DeFi, there is no DeFi registered corporations. That would also not work when you have the entire team that's internationally based. So a fundamental aspect of DeFi is it's decentralized. Having a central corporation is by definition centralized.
So in short, there is no company that's created to run the system, but it's just people just running the system, right?
Yeah, it's a decentralized team, and the team has been made very public through all of the protectionary measures, as well as my face being live, presented to about 700 people live on Twitch right now.
Okay, and I guess the last question I have is tomorrow, if the regulation in any country gets harsh or changes, it still doesn't impact us until. I'm just trying to figure out, until what point does it not impact us?
Well, I mean, the beautiful thing about it decentralized, it's the same reason why governments are going to try to regulate Bitcoin, but as long as there's one computer running a Bitcoin mainnet, Bitcoin isn't dead. That's the great thing about decentralization, and that's the fundamental aspect that a lot of these regulators fundamentally don't understand. But our entire purpose here is we understand how slow regulations take place, and our goal here is to have a self-regulatory agency that's going to act as that as the informational basis, as well as a working partner with regulators to ensure regulations are done to maintain the entire concept of what DeFi is, but also promote investor safety, which is the entire point of the regulations. We're not really concerned about regulations right now.
Sure, and my last question is, I know you have experience in other projects as well. So in the context of a decentralized exchange, like your token is on our DEX, trading on a DEX. So in terms of decentralized exchanges, does the same apply to them? Which means they also don't have to have a company registered in some country, and they can just run off the protocol.
Yeah. That's the beautiful thing about code. You don't have a centralized body behind it. I wouldn't be able to speak to all DEXs. I don't know DEXs, right? But decentralization by definition is decentralization, and having a physical registered corporation and a physical registered country is the antithetical to the entire concept of what decentralization is.
Okay, got it. Thank you so much for your time.
You're welcome, brother. Thank you.
Hey, Colin, just as a quick caveat too to kind of what he's chatting about is we also have access to government officials like here in Florida who have access to SEC officials, and we have people who are talking to us that are registered securities agents. So we have access to these things should we want it. But
yes, yeah, I mean,
now we're not doing.
Yeah, Ryan, as that's the reason I'm being a little bit more cagey with the information that we're putting out there. We don't want to create any kind of unnecessary fear. People just need to understand that we have forefront in the mind here, and we're making forging the relationships that we need to forge to make sure that not only Thor, Power, and Hive, but the Union of Transparency is successful in the long term.
For sure, yeah. I just want people to know that if it becomes pertinent to our future, then we have those things already set up. They're just they're not ready for that, right? So for people who are looking for that, should we need it, it's out there.
Awesome. All right, thank you, Ryan. Mr. LeGranville, go ahead.
Yes, Mr. LeGranville.
All right, thank you. Go ahead.
No, thank you. You said it right.
Oh, okay. I have to do it phonetically, man. I'm so sorry. I got a lot of chats I'm trying to keep up with.
No, you did. You did a good job.
All right, go ahead, man. Hit me.
It's always a pleasure to talk to you, man. You you're an amazing guy. Charismatic. I mean, you're just amazing, man. It's I previously heard a previous guy that came in and said it's hard for someone to get mad at you, and he was correct. I don't think anyone can get mad at you, man.
I've had lots of people mad at me, and I'm sure I'll have lots of people mad at me in the future. But I try my absolute damnedest, and I'm 100% committed. And I don't think anyone works as hard as I do in this industry. And so hopefully all of that's enough to maintain a fantastic reputation, and at least allow me to not be hated ever, and knock on wood.
Yeah, I just want to know, man. I just want you to know we appreciate you. I do have a couple questions, though.
Hit me.
First, before I ask the questions, allow me to say a few words, right? I do want to say, man, I was very impressed. The first time I was really impressed by you is when the whole ring thing happened, right? I was an investor at Ring, and then you just took the charge and you just revived everyone's faith in the Nodes project, man. You did a fantastic job.
That was a hell of a time, and I still remember very clearly that final Ring AMA where I came in, and I'm not gonna lie, I was over at my family's house. It was during the winter holidays, right? I think it was Boxing Day or even Christmas night. So I was definitely a little intoxicated when I was having those loud yelling, where I'm essentially just yelling at their entire team about how crap they are, and how they were just doing really unethical, immoral things, and the only way to survive, save the protocol. And unfortunately, as you can see, that those pieces of advice that I said weren't taken, and we all know where they are now. So we're here to fill in that void and actually do it correctly.
Yeah, and I just want you to know I appreciate every second, every minute you put in to actually fix this whole protocol. I really do. So with that said, I have some questions for you, right?
Sweet.
So I know you guys are working really, really hard, especially you, to move from a Ponzi-nomic kind of project, and I respect that, but we still have a long way to go. Is there any plans that you want to share with us here? Because the Ponzi-nomic, we all know it's not sustainable. It's not going to last long. And I'm an investor in Thor. I have several God nodes, a good 20 of them. You understand? So, and I don't like fast money. I wouldn't mind just stick with you guys and for years to come. That's
the entire function, and the really cool thing is, we're only 2 months old. We've interjected a lot into those 2 months, and one of the biggest skills, and especially as our team has continued to expand here, is to be able to offer more and more utility behind our ecosystem. So I think that the changes to the entire economics of our model, including any aspect of Ponzi-nomics, is going to be out sooner rather than later. So that's the reason I'm saying we're probably we're here to introduce more utility, and more utility is going to be hitting the ecosystem very, very soon. But we're going to be completely separated from any form of Ponzi-nomics once we have the marketplace and the node cap in place. Because that way, our price on our token, as well as the ecosystem as a whole, has not relied on new people buying in and creating new nodes at all. There's no way to buy and build new nodes without having to buy them off the secondary market. So that's the entire point here, is for us to transition our revenue model over from any form of new node being created over to utility bases. So that's being done through metaverse, through play to earn, through gaming. That's also being done through our marketplace, and that's also being done through several other utilities that we have not even announced yet. We're looking to come out and really surprise some people.
That sounds wonderful, man. That sounds great.
Yeah. So ideally here, I don't want to give a timeline, but we're not looking at many months in order to achieve this. We're looking at I'd say a few months in total in order for us to be at the goals that we're looking to achieve.
Perfect. Second question, and thank you by the way for answering the first question. Second question, right? Is there a plan on starting like a Thor chain, blockchain that will benefit, in which personally I think that perhaps may benefit the Thor community as well? Is there a plan for that?
No, not at least not in the near short term. I think that's the trend of the week, and I think there's a lot of people who are interested in that, and I think there's going to be a lot of failures. We're seeing a lot of trends of other node projects looking to start up chains or side chains and things like that. There's significant risks that come with starting up a new chain. One, it's extremely difficult, intensive, and expensive to operate, and you need to have activity and enough usage on that chain to cover out all of those expenses. That's something that I think a lot of other projects are going to face issues with. And so from our perspective, what we see is building out an entire ecosystem. And then once we're at the full ecosystem with a really sustainable utility-focused reward token, then we can start to look at things like a full chain. I think a lot of other protocols right now are trying to run before they can walk. And I think it's much smarter to build out these utilities, build out an entire ecosystem, and then utilize that ecosystem to make bigger things happen.
Wow, well said. Third questions.
Mm-hmm.
All right, is there a way like to add an auto compound button for those of us who wants to build up our nodes?
I mean, that's something that we can look at. That's certainly lower down on the priority list here. We do have a compound button where you can compound and it saves you on all taxes. The only difference between that and an auto compound would be as soon as your your pending rewards are at the same level as whatever node tier that you want to compound into, it automatically be done. That's something that we can certainly look into, but it won't be coming out with the immediate next updates that we've already announced.
Okay. All right, that sounds good. Last questions, but not really like questions. I don't know if I should or if I can. It's actually about one of our competitor.
Let's know. Out of respect for all other projects right now in this space, I don't think it's. I don't necessarily want to bring up another project. If you want to make a quick comment, I'll let you make a quick comment, and then we're gonna move on though.
Oh, you know what? I respect that as well. No, that's fine.
I appreciate that. Look, I think it's very important for us to be respectful of all other projects, even if they're projects that are doing things that we may not necessarily agree with, or that we decide to go in a different direction. Obviously we want everybody in this space to succeed. We want everyone to do well. And so I wish all other projects nothing but goodwill. We have no ill will towards any other protocols.
Well said, man. I totally agree. I couldn't agree with you more. Thanks a lot.
No worries, brother. Thank you for your questions, my friend. I'm gonna move on here. I'm gonna move on here to Jesse. Go ahead, Jesse.
Loki, what's up? How are you?
I'm all right. How are you doing, brother?
Good. The hardest working man in blockchain, like the James Brown of crypto. Appreciate you, man.
Thank you very much.
Just wanted to pop on here and say I've been steadily accumulating Thor nodes and just really excited about where you and the team are taking the project, and wanted to say that we want to make a treasury investment via PowerFan to have Thor nodes be part of our project medium and long term, and I want to do that as well with my publishing business. So just wanted to say that here and shout it out, but maybe we can explore something like that, and I would love to, visibly be a part of what you guys are building over the medium and longer term.
That's fantastic. It's a little off topic here for the AMA, but why don't you? I'm going to add you as you know what? Create a support ticket and then add me in the support ticket. I'm going to add you as a friend, and we can talk about this in the DMs. Because certainly, if you have an organization that you'd like to become more involved with the Thor ecosystem, we're looking to invite a lot more people into. And of course, we could then talk about OTC offerings and things like that, just to help your onboarding process be as simple as possible and help out some of our whales being able to liquidate and sell off their rewards without crashing our price, because we have a lot of ethical whales within our protocol.
Oh, perfect. Sounds great, man. Thanks, everybody. Keep up the great work.
Thanks, Jesse. I appreciate that, man. You have a great day, all right?
You too.
All right. Perfect. We got a few more questions here, so why don't we bring all of these guys up? We got Crypto TN. Yep, so I'm inviting a bunch more people up here. Please go on mute right away until I call on you.
on.
All right. So please, everyone, go on mute here, and I'm going to start off with DB. Go ahead, DB.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Very well. The P2E, is that going to be available to everybody or just the Thor community?
That's going to be available to everybody, but you're going to need to utilize our Thor token in order to be able to participate in it. Obviously, our community are going to have some tangible, distinct benefits.
Right. Those things are scary because they're like flashes in the pan a lot. Have y'all found a way to combat that?
Oh yeah. Actually, this is a good time to say it. We have an entire announcement that's going to be going out directly after this AMA, and we'll actually also have one of the developers from the AMA that's currently present here in the chat, who will be joining in after my AMA here, just to give everyone a fill out. And we're going to be announcing that as soon as we're done with the AMA here. You're going to see that while it's P2E, it's not gimmicky P2E. We have built out an entire game and an entire world here that we think is going to have a very long-term shot at success.
Great, I'm glad I could give you that segue.
Thank you very much. It's a little bit early. I wish you were my last question because it would have been the perfect segue. So, I'm going to make sure that maybe I'll bring you, maybe I'll keep you here, and you can ask me this again when I call on you here, and you'll close us out with that. With that. Awesome, brother.
To represent the boomers who, I'm not a regulator.
I shouldn't have used boomer in such a derogatory word.
I just want the money. Just give me the money. I just bought 3 Thor nodes. It's fantastic entry price. It's all wonderful and great. But as you said many times, we're barely 3 months old.
Yeah.
It's very immature. It's very, what are we doing? Let's fix it. Let's get out of the Ponzi. Let's get some money. Let's get some backing. But it's got to be more of a maturation. I mean, you say metaverse, and you say the P2E, you say nodes, but all those things don't have stick-to-itiveness. You need something more durable, like more partnerships with a bigger, more money.
So I would highly recommend you to go take a look at our announcements, and you can see the entire list of partnerships that we have that we're looking to build out, as well as the additional utilities. If thinking that we're just going down the metaverse or play to earn route is really naive when we're looking at the entire scale of the ecosystem that we're building out. Things like a proprietary high-end marketplace, things like also things that we have not announced yet. When we're talking about maturity happens over time, and as the ecosystem continues to expand. We've done a lot in 3 months, and we have a lot more to do in a very short amount of time.
Agreed. Yeah, I did read all that, and I'm looking at 6 months, a year from now, when every single one of us hopefully has 100 Thors or 100 Odins. Just the immense amount of money that's going to take to pay by the day.
If you looked into that, you know that we'd have a node count, a node cap instituted far before then. So you won't get to 100. Everyone won't get to 100 Odins and 100 Thors without buying off the secondary market.
Don't say that. I hope you all do. Don't listen to him.
No, man, that's the reality. We have to be able to control emissions, and that's being done. You'll still always have an opportunity to go out and pick up 100 Odins or 100 Thors, even in a year from now, but you're going to have to buy them off other individuals who have their nodes listed for sale. And we hope that scarcity is going to create an appreciating asset, very similar to a rental property, where you're going to have an income-producing asset that also appreciates over time due to scarcity.
Nice. As always, thank you for your time.
I appreciate that, my friend. Have a great day.
You too.
All right. Wilhelm Wallace. Go ahead, my friend.
Yeah, man. I actually have a question more about your Transparency Council. Aren't you kind of worried about that possibly creating a bit of a hampering effect on new projects coming out versus, because then they're going to have to be a part of that to be considered legitimate in a lot of people's eyes, especially if regulators start coming in. So couldn't that kind of hamper the creative freedom of what we're experiencing right now with the crypto markets and with DeFi?
No, it actually heavily encourages innovation, because now people who have innovative ideas don't have to be in an oversaturated market full of scammers. They don't have to exist within a Wild West market and be compared to other other non-credible or malicious protocols when they have an opportunity to, apply their innovative ideas under a self-regulatory board. The beautiful thing about the Union of Transparency is it's run essentially as a DAO, where the union protocols have an opportunity to vote and decide what new union protocols are going to be entered or not entered into the system. That creates a much more conducive environment for all protocols rather than a restrictive environment for all protocols.
Okay, that makes sense. My other question was, I know some NFTs have basically royalties that come with them, so each time the NFT is sold, the original creator gets a kickback from that. Now, with this going towards NFTs, would Thor Financial get that kickback from that, or are you doing it that way, or what were you going to do with that, I guess is my question.
We're still yet to completely formulate the for sure tokenomics behind, like the economics behind the actual marketplace. But there's going to be a split system to where the NFT owner is going to receive a royalty as well as the protocol. From our perspective, we need to start really looking at revenue streams through not just transactional volume on an active marketplace, but also the trades of our own NFTs. So that's something that we're looking at, and we'll be giving much more information when we come closer to the marketplace being released.
Okay, that totally makes sense. I was just wondering what was kind of in place for that.
No, it's a great question. Look, this is the first NFT cap and marketplace question I've gotten that I've not gotten before. So that was a very good question, my friend.
No problem, man. I appreciate it.
Awesome. All right, thank you, man. I'm going to move on here to Willie M. Wallace. Go ahead.
Hey, Loki, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Hey, man, kind of tongue-in-cheek, but at the same time, possible revenue generating. So a couple weeks ago, an individual buying coffee on the blockchain mentioned you in some Twitter stuff, and so an individual, you and Greenfield were kind of going back and forth. I want to know, is there any legitimate chance of there being a pay-per-view, like a Twitter fighting championship, sponsored by, UOT, your Union of Transparency, and the revenue from that can go into, getting you guys into more, metaverse, like that.
No, I have no plan. In fact, I've completely dropped the beef. It's fine. There's two people who don't have to agree on the internet. Who would have guessed? But I've decided to take the bigger route here, and I'm just not going to be mentioning or participating in any petty spats back and forth.
It was more of a joke.
Yeah, no. For me, right? I could go back and forth with words with the green pill over and over and over again. What I'd much rather do is let my actions prove exactly where our intents are and exactly where our future is.
Yeah, and I was just going to say to everybody listening, the way that you explain DeFi, crypto in general, the blockchain, like how you just mentioned, the whole rental property and appreciation and value, making it simple for anyone who's new is ridiculous. So I just want to say, keep up the hard work. I know you guys are innovating, and all boats rise with the rising tide. So I just want to say thank you very much.
Thank you very much, my friend. Look, what we can do is we can do our best. And, I think we've gotten a lot better over time. And we're going to continuously get better. I think it's really is my responsibility as the leader of this community to really start really focusing on education. There's a lot of people that whenever they see events happen or, the price going down or whatever, start to have a real emotional reaction, which is totally understandable, especially when you don't understand the macro, issues at play. I think it's far more becoming our responsibility to where we need to really lead this community in the right way. And the right way is looking at a future thinking and treating people with respect and being able to explain potentially some tricky, complicated subjects with ease. Awesome. I'm going to send you back down to the audience. If that's okay with you, Willem. I appreciate your kind words, though, my friend. Awesome. Neo, go ahead. What are you talking about, Wallace? That's a funny comment there, Hen Dog. Go ahead, Neo. All right, I'm gonna let you figure out your mic. I'm gonna move on to Crypto Tonight. TN, go ahead.
Yes, how you doing? Thanks for taking my call.
No worries.
You know what, man? I wish you guys could do this every day because I just get so pumped to go buy an Odin every time you speak. But so, just a question about the NFT. So I imagine we'll be able to see the NFT in our wallet. I mean, like today, I don't see the Odins or the nodes in my wallet.
Mm-hmm.
So I assume that when we get the NFT, we'll see nodes, right? We'll see something we can actually transfer.
You'd see a physical asset within your wallet, within your MetaMask that you'd actually be able to physically transfer. And the reason why we have not gone into a huge amount of detail is we're still figuring out exactly how that would work in a DApp integration wise. Whether or not you'd be staking that NFT in order to be able to claim your unclaimed rewards. We're not 100% sure yet, and that's the reason why we're doing a lot of work in the background to make sure that it's done properly. Because realistically, we have one chance to be able to convert all of our nodes over to NFTs, and we want to make sure that when we do that, it's done properly and well thought out and perfectly tested and peer reviewed.
That's great. And just one more question for you. Do you guys ever see a future where Thor would be tied into, like, I don't know, traditional banking and financial institutions, like, financial advisors saying, hey, if you want a passive income for your retirement, you should do something like this, being that Thor would, in theory, be one of the best ones, 5 years from now, up and standing and created a whole universe out there. Is that something you guys envision or have talked about, or is that something that
we've definitely talked about it? Yeah, we've definitely talked about it, and I can just tell, even though Ryan's on mute here, I can just tell his ears are burning. Don't come off mute there, Ryan. I'll answer it. We've already had some discussions. We've already had a lot of thought into something like that. This is a very much a macro long-term play for us. But without a question, we very much like that train of thought. And what we want to do is we want to look at that as a possibility as we continuously build out the ecosystem. I think it's more of an issue of being able to walk before you can run. But certainly when we're ready to run hard.
Keep on leading, man. Good job, guys.
I appreciate that, my friend. Thank you very much for that question. I like that question a lot. Awesome. I'm going to move on here to Neo. Have you figured out your mic? Otherwise, I'm going to have to send you back down to the audience. Nope. All right. I'm going to move on here to Liquid then. Go ahead, Liquid. Liquid, you're also going to have to figure out your mic. So I'm going to go over here to Essay while Liquid figures out his mic. Go ahead, Essay.
Hello?
Hey.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you, Essay. Go ahead.
Hey, I just want to say I've been probably listening to all your AMAs, and it's amazing how after thousands and thousands of questions that you have not been stumped yet.
Well, so, I like to make sure that I'm as informed as possible about the future, and that's the great thing about my position here at Thor is, I'm helping to lead the future, and so I'm probably one of the few people that know exactly where we're looking to go in the long term.
Yeah, it's true, and the other thing is like how you guys really know what you guys are doing, and kind of have when everybody's like, hey, why don't you guys do this, and you're like, hey, we already thought about that, we already in the loop, and just want to give credit to you and all the mods and the devs, how hard you guys all work. I know you get a lot of the credit, which you deserve, because you're the face. But I got to give credit also to all the mods that deal with
without
all
a question. Oh my God, this community would be nothing without all the mods that we have here, without all the people that we have involved, and all the people who work in the background as well. That's kind of the perk and the con of being the face of this protocol. I get all the benefit when things are going well, but of course when things are going bad, I'm the biggest bad guy in the world. That's the give and take where it happens with this naturally, and I accept that. It is what it is, but kudos on you for giving credit where credit's due. Our mod team is second to none. Our development team is second to none, and the additional people that we're bringing on are second to none. And that's why I'm really excited about our future.
Yeah, same here. Question. I like to kind of know, like a lot of people, they invest in, like when they see how many new nodes are created, but I base my investment on, the team and, do they keep their word and, what they're all about. So can you give us any, like, insight of how the devs are? Like, are they younger? What country are they from? Something
Sure,
like that.
sure. So, I mean, our devs are international. We have some people in Africa, we have some people in Europe, we have some people in Oceania, and we have obviously us and a lot of our mod team over here in North America. Our devs ages really kind of range quite a bit. I'd say on the older side we have people in their mid to late 30s. I think we also have someone who's on their early 40s. I don't know 100% though, so don't quote me on that. And then the rest of us are obviously in our mid to late 20s. I'm personally 26.
Yeah, and do they have a lot of like developing skills, or have they been in the crypto for a while?
Yes, all of us have been in crypto for multiple years now.
Okay. I think that's about it. That's all I wanted to know. Oh, and do they like nice long walks on the beach?
I think they all like nice long walks on the beach, and I think only a couple like getting caught in the rain though.
Hey, thanks again. Appreciate it.
All right, brother. Have a great night. All right.
Yeah, you too.
All right, brother.
So many good beaches in Florida. I've heard things.
Well, you know what? I'm over here in Canada, so I'm going to deal with the cold while you guys enjoy your beaches. All right, SKZ1, go ahead.
Hey, hello?
Hey, I can hear you.
Super. Just to start with, it's 2:30 in the morning here. I'm in Turkey actually, so I'm working from distance. Always I'm trying to follow the AMAs every week, even if it's too late, I'm working too early. Just thank you so much, guys, to you, to the team, to the energy. I will not say, like everyone is saying all night long, they've been saying the same, but my thoughts. So I'm very positive and bullish about whatever you're doing. You're doing great. I have a couple questions, if it's possible, to ask.
Hit me.
Yeah. Cool.
Just please try to make sure that they have not already been asked. That's my only request.
Yeah, I was listening. I try not to ask again. I know it's like frustrating and also for your sanity. It's not a couple of questions, actually, just remarks. I was also a project manager before my current job right now. Also, if you're meeting some project managers with experience, I can work remotely, have a lot of spare time, but this is not the issue. Just for two points. One person just asked about the auto compounder, just 30 minutes before or something. I saw in some projects also, I don't know if you thought about it, I'm sure you thought about it, because you think about many things. Maybe also doing this percentage hype. For example, our nodes, if we have Thor nodes or Odin, we earn certain amount of rewards. If we keep and not claim for 20 days, 30 days, we can get 0.1% extra or something. You know what I mean?
We're thinking of multiple different. Yeah, it's a great idea. It's something that we've been thinking about for a little while. We're still working out exactly how something like that could be integrated into our tokenomics and just ensure that we have long-term viability and sustainability.
Yes, that's super. I want to just bring this to the table because we're all family and we're trying to go forward all together. And for the next point is for the P2E. As you've seen, I think all P2E games at the moment, their token, I know it's not, maybe it will not be Thor, but their token goes down to hell quite fast because a lot of tokens are generated. And we were speaking about making Thor the center of everything, the marketplace, the P2E game, and the center of the access to all these things. Have you thought about this too?
I certainly have. There's a couple different reasons why you see P2E games tokens suffer, and that's really because one, the actual game is not that fun, doesn't engage a lot of people, but also two, that they're inherently inflationary. The beautiful thing about having a P2E game function by a static token that has no inflation, has a fixed supply, is that obviously the more utility that you add to that that token, the more value that token goes up. So rather than, being able to earn X amount of tokens, you're earning a fraction of X amount of tokens. That's what we see in the long term, and that's how we solve that problem. So we have simultaneously a really fun and engaging P2E game where people are going to want to play it over and over and over again, but then also make sure that the entire token is supported through multiple different mechanisms. And that's being done through P2E, to the marketplace, to all the different utilities that we offer to our token to ensure that the token's long-term viability is there.
Man, that's the answer I was looking for. Thank you so much. You're amazing. I can sleep well, and I can work well tomorrow.
Hey, man, get back to sleep. Go get some rest. I got you, brother. I got you. We've been doing a lot of work here in the background.
Give the energy. Thank you so much, and have fun. Thank you.
All right, man. You too. All right, ciao. All right, mobilizing good DAO. Go ahead.
Hey, Loki, good to talk to you, and I really liked your statement this morning on all the craziness that's going on in the world, and I was just kind of wondering, like, there's a few channels, like, let's say the mental health channel, and some initiatives you guys do as far as, like, Hive and Thor to give some donations back. So what is kind of like a cause that you're super passionate about that, like, the community can kind of, like, contribute to, or really kind of focus on, like, a way to help each other?
That's a great question, and honestly, I've been so focused on just the crypto and DeFi side that I haven't done a lot of research into different charitable organizations. I mean, obviously with Hive, we have our preset organizations, and they're all around supporting the global bee populations. But something for Thor is what we're looking to integrate as well. Some nice positive give back to the communities. And right now, especially for people who are, looking for an organization to donate to, especially given the current global circumstances, I please encourage you guys to go look at, like, Doctors Without Borders, entities like that are all about nonprofit, policy-based decisions that are just there to help the humanity. Because right now there's a lot of people in Europe that need help, and we need to be doing everything that we can to help them out, and also make sure that we're taking care of each other as a community. It's so easy when things. When we have global issues like what we currently have, and I think everyone knows what I'm talking about here. I think it's so important for us to take a step back, to really look at this rationally and understand that we all collectively win or lose as a community, and we all collectively win or lose as a species and as a culture. And I think it's really important for us to maintain our humanity and maintain our culture here, to know that things are hard right now, especially globally. Things are really hard right now. The only way that we get through this is we get through this together, and that's what I hope to achieve by having AMAs like this and having such a strong community that we have. I think everyone needs to realize that things get dark, and dark things happen, and we can't control the rest of the world. We can't control other governments. We can control our own actions, though, and I think it's really important for us to have our own actions in a long-term way that we can, just thinking about how we can help out as many people as possible. So, thanks for that question, and, please look at organizations that you could, if you have the funds, if you have the ability, if you have the means to donate or to, volunteer or aid in any way, please look in the ways that you can do that, because, the more of us that are going to help out to form the future, the better future we're all going to have.
Yeah, 100%. Like, I was on mute there smiling for that whole answer. I thought it was amazing. I'm an engineer myself. I just became a professional engineer, and I really kind of like up this whole organization to help UOT and these projects going on right now in the DeFi and traditional finance space. I've done Engineers Without Borders a while back in college, and that's a great example, Doctors Without Borders, and really just the organizations that bring people together, and like comparing this to, like, you mentioned, like, other passive income, like a rental property. Like, we're not going to get this. We're not going to get 40,000 people coming together in this powerful way. So I really appreciate all you do, man.
I appreciate that too, my friend. And look, the one thing I want to leave this topic on here is, just remember, things are darkest before they're bright. All right, and so we got to get through the dark times in order to get to the bright times, and I have full faith, and I know that the future that we have ahead of us is going to be very good. And you know, we just need to work through the hard, difficult, especially geopolitical issues that we're experiencing now. We have to work through that in order to get to the good times, and I can assure you, even when you think all hope is lost, there's still hope, and we know what we're going to achieve it, and we're all going to make it.
Yeah, we're all going to make it. I know you're a big inspiration to me, and we both still have a lot of work in front of us. So let's keep up the good fight.
Awesome. Thank you so much for your comments and your questions, brother. If it's okay with you, I'm going to move on to some other people here. But you know, that was a really important thing that you brought up, and I'm really thankful that you brought that up for everybody.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for having me. Quick caveat to that too as well, Colin. I am the back end for P2E. We talked to the developers, have already discussed something like that, and out of the developer funds that we do have, percentage of that revenue are going to Purpose for Vets, and that's already been talked to. We've linked up with them. That's coming out of our wallet. So.
Yeah, no, I mean, look, and that's fantastic, man. That's something that we want to announce when the time is right, though. So I appreciate that, Ryan. Just, you know, try to play some cards closer to your chest right now. That's all. All right, DeFi Bum. I read your Medium post, my friend, and I think I sent you out a message on how good I thought it was. So please hit me with some questions here.
DeFi.
Thanks for having me on here. And thanks for being receptive to feedback too. I'll be honest, like when I'm posting the article, I was expecting I might get a lot of backlash. We'll see.
No, it was a totally fair article. It was a totally fair article. Yeah, I thought it was. I read it through it, and I thought it was absolutely fair. You know, I obviously don't agree with all the points that you brought out there, but you know, you don't know all the things that we're doing in the future. So you know, it's a little bit of what's publicly available and what's not, right? But I think overall, you did a fantastic breakdown of both us and Strong, and I highly encourage everybody to give it a read.
Yeah, and I'd say like at the end of the article, I don't think it would be somebody that reads that article like. I don't think it deters you necessarily from investing in Thor. I think it breaks down and says this is what you're investing in. You're trusting this team.
Yep.
And why wouldn't you? Because I think you guys have done a great job. I might not agree with everything, but I'm a fan of the team. So
I appreciate that. Now, do you have a question here for me today?
Yes, sorry. Yeah, so first thing is what exactly is your allocation of your node reward? Like I know all I could find was 80% of the node rewards pool, and so what is there a set amount for the other allocations?
So it's actually 60% out to the rewards pool, it's 20% out to the liquidity pools, and the remaining 20% goes to the development. So it's marketing, development, salaries, all of that.
Okay, got it. I know one of the older articles that said 80%. That's all I could find at the time.
Yeah, I mean, when we first started, we only had one tier of node, and that tier of node was at a 10 to earning to 0.7 a day. Obviously, things have changed over time as we've introduced more utility, as we've introduced different levels of nodes, as we've introduced nodes at different levels of costs. So what we're looking to do is we're looking to have a full white paper out in line with our V2 contract updates, which are happening in a matter of a week and a bit, basically.
Okay. So this these questions might sound stupid. I just kind of want to hear your take on it. So what would you say is the service you provide?
The service that we provide is essentially both nodes as a service and DeFi as a service, and very soon we're going to be providing both gaming as well as marketplace services.
Okay. So I know that there are some visible differences, but how would you differentiate yourself from something that's like farming as a service?
Well, because we have both of our DeFi investments. We don't just invest in farming protocols. We actually invest into blue chips. We invest also into validator nodes. We invest into our RPC endpoints. Those are the aspects of nodes as a service that we offer. But that's essentially the whole point of DeFi as a service, is to have a robust treasury allocated by professionals into different investment avenues, and then to use those revenues to generate our rewards. Now, the cool thing is we've realized that that's not enough to to completely leave any form of Ponzi-nomics or to have a fully sustainable protocol. So that's the reason we're continuously expanding out the ecosystem to incorporate many different revenue streams. Everything from node maintenance to transactional fees on an active marketplace to income and revenue generated by P2E and metaverse gaming, all the way down to treasury investments and a few other things that we have not even disclosed yet. Our whole goal here is to have a very robust ecosystem, and each revenue generation aspect of that ecosystem all goes back to rewarding our node holders.
Okay, so you said the nature of your investments is one of the key distinguishing factors.
That's one of the key distinguishing factors of the treasury investments, which is one small revenue stream of many.
Okay. So I know I said at one point in my article about deciding for yourself if it's acceptable for Ponzi-nomics in the meanwhile, but how would you justify Ponzi-nomics? Because I know your underlying investments, they make money. How would you justify that? Just in your own words.
Well, I mean, when we're talking about justifying, I don't justify Ponzi-nomics. Ponzi-nomics is essentially a revenue structure that's built when protocols first come out. The test on the longevity and the sustainability of that protocol is how quickly they can exit the Ponzi-nomic stage over to actual revenue generation. And I think we've been extremely clear about the entire scope and scale of an ecosystem that we're looking to build here. So that ecosystem incorporates many different revenue streams, and all of those revenue streams go to create a sustainable ecosystem and a sustainable reward rate. Unlike other protocols, we don't rely on, very soon, actually, within months, we're not going to be relying on new investors entering the protocol, and that's being done by having an absolute final node cap. The fact that you can't buy new nodes, I think, separates us from any form of Ponzi-nomics in the long term.
Okay, so you'd say aggressive treasury accumulation is partly for those Ponzi-nomics. So I guess
I wouldn't keep fixating on the treasury, my friend, because as I said, that's a very small revenue stream out of multiple.
No, I understand that's the end goal. I think that I guess what I'm looking for is I see it as maybe initially you guys use a Ponzi model, and that obviously that builds up your treasury to a certain amount, and then you can actually invest that and actually accrue value back into the users.
Yeah, so, and we have 10 investments finished.
Yeah.
We have millions of dollars invested in and 10 investments already finished.
Right. Okay. Yeah. No. I just wanted to see kind of how you thought about that, because I know that I think where it gets me is the I know how marketing goes, but I know when you say lifetime rewards and you say it's your mind doesn't always go to like where are these coming from. I mean, not for everybody in DeFi, I think, but where are these coming from? How is it sustainable? But I know that the end goal is to leave the Ponzi-nomics, but I think inevitably there's rewards restructuring, which you guys have already done, but in the end continues to taper off.
So,
I don't know if I'm being clear.
I mean, you are being clear, but I think you're fundamentally mistaken here on a few aspects of your understanding. When you're talking about Ponzi-nomics, you're talking about a system that exists simply for the fact of new investors buying in. And while that's certainly an aspect of our current system, it's a very low aspect of our current system, and it grows lower and lower and lower as more utilities are offered to the ecosystem as a whole. So I think just looking at treasury investments, we're already way ahead of every other node protocol that's on the market. The protocol that you compared us to has zero revenue in addition to the reward rates. The reward rates are fully sustained by new people entering into the protocol and new nodes being made, while ours has a subsidization of our treasury investments. We've also been very, very clear of exactly the path that we see to get to sustainability, as well as approximate timelines, as well as additional utilities that we've already introduced, such as single-sided staking, LP staking. We're introducing a bunch more with the new contract updates, the new UI, as well as a full game update that we'll be providing after this AMA. So what I highly encourage for you is if this if an investment like this is not currently at your risk tolerance, give it a couple more months, and I think you'll be very happy where you see this ecosystem.
Okay, sounds great. Thanks, guys.
All right, thanks, DeFi Bum. Appreciate it. All right, Tech, go ahead.
Hey there, Colin. Thanks for having me on, mate. I appreciate. Obviously, you're probably going through this non-stop and that. But I just wanted to say, like, I know there's been a massive focus on the project and everything else. You know, like what are the aims, what are the plans for the next 12 months, whatever. But I just wanted to see, you know, mate, how are you doing? How are you shaping up? Because I think we're forgetting that, you know, there's a human behind this project and that. And I guess it was literally just for a couple of minutes. I just wanted to see how you're shaping up. And, you know, like, I know we might have had an interaction here or there where I said, you know, take a break, fella, relax, and that though. But I just thought I'd reach out and just see, you know, how are you as a person shaping up? Because ideally, I'd like to make sure you're all right, you know, because, you know, you're doing all of this. So it would be nice to see if, you know, you're okay at least.
I so appreciate that, and that's something you know that you know a lot of people reach out to me a lot, and you know I think it's very clear. You see, the thing about me is I'm very bad at hiding my natural emotions. I wear my heart on my sleeve, and that means what I'm feeling is generally what everyone else gets to see. So I'm sure there's a lot of people who have gotten tired of me getting frustrated in the chat, and that's the reason I've taken a step back from the chat. I go through peaks and valleys. You know, there's obviously when things are bad, and especially you know negative price action or you know a glitch or something like that, I take it very personally because I feel the responsibility of all of you, all the Asgardians on my shoulders. Having said that, I think overall I'm doing really quite well. I'm very optimistic about the future, and right now I'm just really in a grind stage. I'm working 12 to 15 hours a day on you know all the 3 different protocols and projects that I'm working on, and you know I'm willing to do this because I really see the long-term vision and the long-term goal here, and that's the only reason I'd be willing to put as much work into it as I do. So luckily I'm not going to get burnt out, and I'm not going to you know have some serious problems like that. It's really because I'm willing to do the work that's needed to be done in order to achieve the results of this entire industry that I'm looking to achieve.
Oh no, I appreciate. Well, we all genuinely appreciate it. So thank you, you know, so much for the fact that. I think it goes without saying that, well, not primarily aimed at me, but at least for a lot of the people that I've seen in the chat, you've changed a fair few people's lives, people who, you know, probably living paycheck to paycheck, who are now getting 3-4 paychecks in a month because they took a chance. So I just thought, you know, sometimes if you're so laser focused on a project, I think we as humans can also forget that, hey, look, you know, someone built this for us and changed our lives. Because, you know, I've spoken to a few people and they've mentioned you. You know, and it's nice to see there's been a sea change in the attitudes towards you, including from my own perspective. I remember when I put my hands up, I think it was a couple of weeks ago, where I apologised to you just overall for the overall general discourse and stuff like that, though. And it was most pleasant seeing the fact that you and Carolina Keith, I think it was, made up over Twitter. Honestly, you know, it heartened me to realise that, you know what, slowly but surely, people are eventually seeing the real you. I think a lot of us.
It happens. It happens. This industry is full of malicious people, and it's full of you know, it's just really negative people who don't have a set of morality. And so I think a lot of people are you know, used to having unethical actors run a lot of these protocols. And so, you know, I realize that when I come in and I try to be the nice guy and be Mr., you know, transparent and be clear, I'm sure that there's a lot of people with a lot of skepticism behind that, and I don't blame them for that skepticism. That's the reason I always say, don't believe what I say. Take a look at our actions. Actions speak a hell of a lot louder than words, and you know, I'm really excited about the actions that we've already taken, as well as the actions that we're taking in the future.
No, thank you for that, mate. And I just thought I'd check in with you, and I'm gonna bow.
No problem. Thank you very much, Tech.
Thank you once again, mate. Look after yourself.
No worries. I'm actually going to ask, and I'm so sorry, everybody, I just need to run to the washroom. So I'm going to ask OZ Man to ask his question out to Ryan, and let Ryan ask his question, and I will be back in 2 minutes. So go ahead, Ozzy Man, and go ahead and ask Ryan.
Hey, thank you. So I had a quick question. First of all, I want to say I got into Thor like in December, and then it dumped below $1. and I lost all the hope. And I wish I knew that it would be this way today, right? We can't predict the future, but I would have gotten a couple of audience for myself under $1 rate per tour. But you're doing a great job. People, you guys are good community, good team, doing a lot of work and spending a lot of energy on this. So I wanted to thank you guys. And another thing, basically, a quick question. So I had the tax ticket opened a while ago, I think during the Thor transition. Tax ticket was open, and then I don't see it any longer. But the mod said it's been verified and locked. But I haven't received any kind of airdrop or anything like that.
I'll take this, Ryan. I'm back. Yeah, I understand that, brother. You know what? You have to understand that we're going through these one by one manually, and I'm physically sending everyone out. All right. So if you have verified your wallet and the amount that was missing has been verified, I'll be getting to it as soon as humanly possible. I've already refunded well over 1,000 Thor tokens.
Okay.
So please bear with us, all right? And we will be getting to it as soon as humanly possible.
So let's say if like 30 days from now I don't see it, how would I reference that ticket as it's not there anymore?
As long as it's been verified by the mods, I have your wallet address and I go through them one by one.
Okay, got it. Okay. Okay, thank you.
All right, thank you.
Another question that I had. So this is DeFi, right? But there is, like an owner or a founder of the project. Is that
so?
True?
We have a lead developer, and the lead developer has been KYC'd with Assure. So that's been that's been asked about 1 million times. So we have a lead developer as well as me as the lead of the community, and my face is publicly out there.
So I mean, you have a stake in it's not a company; it's a project. I'm just trying to understand how it all works in terms of ownership and.
So there's four core developers as well as hired on developers. Those four core developers are the ones that control over the back end, and then we have hired on staff as well.
Okay.
All right.
All right. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much, brother.
Take care.
All right. You too. Perfect. Harish, go ahead. I'm just going to be finishing up with the people already up here on stage. We're, about an hour and 45 minutes into this now, and we have a little bit of a surprise that's coming at the end of this. So we're going to finish out with the 4 people we have left here on the stage, and then I'll announce the surprise, and we'll go from there, guys. So go ahead, Harish. Go ahead.
Hello, yes. So basically, I've got no question. But touching up on the guy that was on episode 4, he was like, motivational himself from a lot of people that have quit their jobs and whatnot. And I'd like to say that he's one of the people who didn't quitting the jobs. I think that maybe probably 2 months ago. And since then, from compounding and just, waiting, I've actually leaving my job because I was getting paid for, than I did from them. So that will go for no question, but I just wanted to say that.
Oh, well, thank you very much, man. And look, this is what we want to do here. We work our asses off for this, not for our own personal benefit, but to change a lot of people's lives and to change this entire industry. And so it's always beautiful to hear other people, have some great positive experiences. And we're working our butt off to be here from years from now to continuously be able to provide you that passive income. So thank you very much for your comment, brother. I'm going to move on here to Liquid, but thank you very much, man. Go ahead, Liquid.
Check 1, 2.
I hear you. I hear you. Perfect.
Finally. So, how are you guys?
Good. Well, what's your question, man?
Yeah. So it's a couple questions on security. As Thor gets bigger and more successful, imagining there's going to be a lot more threats in terms of, hacks and all of that kind of things.
Mm-hmm.
So I was wondering if you guys have thought about it already, like if it's possible to create a type of fail-safe, especially when it comes to our nodes, when it turns to NFTs.
So I mean, individuals' wallet security is going to be up to them. We can't control your wallet security, and that's the reason we have a wealth of resources within our Discord on how you can properly secure your wallets with hardware wallets, as well as full instructions on how it's done. As for the security as the protocol as a whole, I think we've demonstrated our ability to have a very secure system to the point where when we launched with a ton of exploits going around. There are multiple projects: Blood nodes, Ring nodes, Sprig nodes, Soldier nodes. All these other node projects face these exploit issues, and that was because they didn't have the same level of security that we did. However, we launched and we were hacked exactly 0 times. Since then, we've become one of the largest, if not the largest, node communities out there, and we still have not been hacked, and we've been a giant target for a very long time now. So I think, obviously, I can't go into detail exactly what our security measures are, because that all of a sudden that creates the vulnerability that people could look for. But what I will say is take a look at the fact that we have a community that's 46,000 people strong, over 40,000 people on our Twitter account, and we've been hacked and exploited exactly 0 times. I think that should speak to the security of the back end.
Yeah, so that's not actually where I was trying to go. Where I was going was more in the case that something does happen, So if it was possible to create to blacklist those nodes that were stolen, or the NFT nodes that were stolen, so in the case that hackers won't be able to earn rewards from them or to sell them off into the market.
So we actually currently do that for wallets that have been compromised. So what we do is we blacklist those wallets, and so those nodes are effectively earning pending rewards that can never be claimed. That's a great thing. But without a question, especially it becomes a trickier issue as these nodes become transferable, right? Because all of a sudden now you face an issue where a hacker can not only go in there and hack and claim your unclaimed rewards and sell them and all that, but now they also have the ability to send your node somewhere else. So that's the reason. That's the reason we have a few different things and a couple partnership companies that we're looking to get in talks with for us to have direct access to the NFT rather than the wallet holding the NFT.
Okay. So one more thing. So would there in the future be a type of opt-in insurance system so that those who want can pay whatever fee? And just a standard insurance fee. So in the moment that one of these unfortunate situations like security breaches happen, and that we can get some sort of return on that. Is that something that's been thought of?
It's definitely something that's been thought of. It's not something I'm ready to go into more detail about though yet.
All right. Yeah, that's all my questions.
Awesome.
So thank you to you guys and all the mods and everything like that. This is my partner and I just got in literally the day that. A couple of hours before the rewards were
Oh, jeez. So that's
look,
there's another guy up on the stage right now named Larry who also had the exact same circumstance happen, and so I can't wait to hear from him.
But listening to the anime,
but other than that poor timing, I think we've shown that things have got a lot smoother. So happy for you guys bearing with us, and I'm really looking forward to the future here. Thank you so much for your questions. I'm going to send you back down to the audience.
All right, cool.
Oh, sorry. I sent him down before he was ready. Sorry about that, my friend. And I just want to say here, just quickly before we go on to Rich Effect, I am looking at Strawsom's question here. He said, hey, Loki, just curious, do you have a degree in marketing? I'm going to be completely honest. I'm a university dropout. And when I was in university, I did 1 year for social work. So no, I don't have a degree in marketing. I am, I say this often, I'm just a dude from Canada trying my best. That's all. Awesome. So thank you for that question there. I happened to see that question on the chat there. Go ahead, Rich Effect.
Hey, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Awesome. I just had a real quick question. Hopefully this question hasn't been asked, but are there any plans to provide whitelist opportunities for Thor holders, like to new projects such as Hive or anything else?
No. I don't. Well, I mean, specifically for Hive, all of our whitelists are, completely given to random community members, and these are community members that could be part of Thor and could not be part of Thor. So we have no interest in funneling people from one protocol to another. People earn whitelists based on merit, not based on their previous holdings, and the value that Thor brings is more than enough. And I don't think a whitelist is a big enough carrot. As for other projects, I'm not a huge fan of it. it as a whole, to be completely honest. I think whitelists should be done in a very limited fashion. I don't think they should ever be given to influencers. I don't think they should ever be given for invite contests or for engagement farming or anything like that. I think it's much more important for whitelists to only go to random community members who provide some form of value to the community, whether that's done through art, whether that's done through activity, whether that's done for just being a super positive and helpful a person in the comments. I think that's how we breed a non-toxic community, and I think that's the best reward for non-toxic behavior.
Thank you so much. You're doing a wonderful job. Thank you.
I appreciate that, Rich Effect. Thank you very much. And I see the last person here is Larry, and I just want to go over just a question or two that I saw here in the Twitch chat. Savvy Cano asked me how old I am. I am 26. Oh, I see other people have already asked that. And then, yeah, aka Twitch Boomer. I guess I am a Twitch Boomer. Sorry, guys. All right, Larry. Finish us off here before I go into our little bit of a surprise here. So finish this off. How you doing, Larry? How's the last week been? I missed you from the last week's AMA. You missed tradition there. Let's pick it up here tonight. Oh no, Larry's mic's not working. Oh no! Alright, Larry, I'm going to give you about 30 more seconds here before I'm going to have to move on, and I'm sorry.
Larry, please.
Come on, Larry, don't let us down, Larry.
Don't let the community down, dude. The general's going to go nuts.
Oh no! Ah! Alright. I'm sorry, Larry. I'm sorry. Your mic's not working here today. It is what it is. So I'm going to finish this guy out. So I'm going to talk about very clearly about our surprise. So starting right now, and Aaron, this is your go ahead. We're putting out an announcement of exactly where the play to earn game is. It's going to go into a little bit more detail. And it's going to have some screenshots from the game as well as some of the characters. Also, in addition to this, even though I am ending off my section of the AMA tonight, we actually are going to have Ryan and Tisai, who's up here on the stage right now, is actually the developer, one of the developers for our play to earn game, and they're going to be going into some more detail. So while I'm out here tonight and I'm finished up for the AMA, congratulations, you guys have a little bit more content here for you, and I highly recommend everybody to go take a look at that announcement that I'm sure was just posted by Aaron. So have a fantastic night, guys. Enjoy the rest of the AMA. Obviously, I'm not going to be on. I'm going to stop this Twitch stream here. So everybody who's currently in the Twitch stream, please